Hey ladies and gentle boys, Fancy Dragon here, aka Centrums, and you can sit over here for a little bit while I record this video. Enjoy the, well, okay, there we go. Hey, welcome to what is probably the most strange situation of my life. I am currently about 4 hours away from what might be an adventure or might be a massive disappointment. I'll probably take this out just to be polite. So, as you probably already know, I very recently stopped playing video games to a degree I would like, and started doing car-related things. You probably already know this, noticed this during the winter times when I started uploading a lot of videos featuring the winter race track and stuff like that. Well, it kind of happened that during this time in my life, I managed to understandably break the vehicle. I'll talk more about this thing in a moment, but essentially what happened is that it's a Subaru. It kind of requires its own thing. Over here in Europe, over here in Latvia at least, we mostly have three types of vehicles. We have BMWs, we have Audi, and we have Volkswagen. Subarus are not common by long shots, so whenever something breaks on this thing, I have to seek out a qualified mechanic, a qualified service, and that is how I got in touch with a person who, upon hearing how I managed to break this thing, said, well, if you want to keep breaking it, if you're interested in getting into car things, I told him that I have no experience in cars, I have no experience in working with cars. I do like speed, and I do like going around the track, fast, even though, what we did over there in that snow track was more playing than anything else. But he said, well, if you want to get into car racing as a general thing, then one of the things you have to do is sign up for the Latvian Auto Commission and start attending their races. Now, this happened about a month ago, and I kind of looked into it at the time. I decided, well, it kind of looks neat, but there's just no way. I don't make enough money to be able to do stuff like that. I can't modify the vehicle, everything else. And essentially what he said, you don't have to modify the vehicle. The lowest of the low, which in this case is called Autosprint, which is not the same as Autocross or Mini Rally or something like that, it is the lowest of the low barrier of entry. And he said, most people who ever want to at least try their, if you want to test the water, if you want to dip your big toe into the water and see how it feels, how it is, then that is where you start. Because Autosprint is usually done on a closed circuit track. It is done as a race against yourself from A to B, with the other participants of the race getting a head start in front of you, and then you go into the track, and then someone behind you goes into the track. The interaction between the contestants is very minimal, if at all, depending on, how slow you are or the person in front of you are. But if you ever wanted to try your hand in actual racing, then this is where you start. Almost there. Well, it is pitch black outside. It's actually past midnight, and I'm here at the hotel room, which is much more spacious than I'm used to it. So yeah, so far so good. It means that tomorrow at 7:30 I have to be on the racetrack, and so the whole idea right now is you get 3 tries. There's a test lap, and then you get 3 tries. You race against yourself mostly, but there is a overall time as well. Now, my car is not a powerful one. Most of the all-wheel drive series cars that I've seen in the videos are usually Audi Quattros. You have Subaru Imprezas with a VRX turbocharged variant. You have an absolute beast of a Volvo just driving around there, which is just super tuned. Probably not even in my category, simply because cars with a roll cage installed and stuff like hydraulic handbrake, those have a completely separate category. They're not street legal per se, so they have to have a different category altogether. And yeah, I'm curious to see how I do. I've never participated in this sort of thing, and my inexperience when it comes to motorsport is I don't watch motorsport, so I don't really know how the whole process is done, especially before the race starts. I just know that I have to be there at 7:30 to start submitting all of my documents, you know, all the stuff that I have. And yeah, hopefully when that is done, hopefully it doesn't turn out that I have forgotten something during the whole chaos of trying to leave home, and I will not need to make a 5-hour trip back to get it. So there's a difference between something like my car and something like that. So home development. One of the things that I did to, quote, prepare was to watch many of the videos from the previous season. I do recognize some of these cars from those videos, so now just hoping that I'm not pissing anyone off, because these people are actually staying in tents, which would have been a much more preferable choice than spending $60 on the hotel. But Alright, so I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is I still have no clue where I have to go and sign up. The good news is that everyone around is slowly arriving, and I suppose I'll get a chance to look around and figure out for myself. Also, the good news is that I did get a chance to photograph the layout of the track. You can see at the start over here we have this sort of zigzag affair. Then it goes over the oval with a jump, and to the start of the other track, and there's the finish line over there. It is overcast. There is a chance of rain, a risk of rain, if you will, and yeah. So far so good. Technically, I'm still not in the race because one of the things I need to do is to get the one-day permit for the racing thing overall. That is something you do on the spot. It's not something I could have done online. So unless I find the place where that is actually issued, unless I do that, then I'm technically speaking not exactly here just yet. But hopefully I can just tag along with someone. I do have people over there doing their own thing, and what I'm going to do is probably I'm just gonna, you know, tail them and see what's on. Well, good news. I got my numbers, which is a good thing. Now I just need to figure out how to place them up. Didn't get any additional stickers though, so that's kind of lame, but you know, it is what it is. But I just need to follow everyone else and hopefully arrive at the right place at the right time. Alright, so right now we are doing the introduction lap. We are going to just go through all of the laps, well, the whole track, and at a very slow speed to see what the angles are, what the dangers are. there's quite a lot of cars today. As far as I understand, there's more than 150 people. There's somewhere between 150 and 168. Right now, they announced the order of how it's done. Even though I have the 15th and the 16th number, I'm actually not doing the... it's not by number, it's actually by class, it turns out. So essentially what's happening is So what's going to happen is the first ones are going to be the Audi Quattros. After that, you have the juniors. After that, you have the ladies. After that, there's going to be the rear-wheel drive. It looks like all-wheel drive and all-wheel drive opens are for towards the back when the track is torn up and they can continue tearing it up. Which I suppose is fine. It's just that, well, it doesn't really help me because I will have to just stick around and wait for a while. So I already kind of know how it looks. But yeah, there's a couple of places that I'm really worried about because this is a relatively front-heavy vehicle. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem, but there are a few very, very sharp corners that I really don't think I have the technical knowledge of how to do on a vehicle like this. Again, I have driven this thing during the winter, and that is the extent of my knowledge when it comes to how this car behaves. I have no idea how it behaves on the tarmac. I have no idea how it behaves on the gravel. So this track has two sections. The first section is over here in this little place that you're going to see in a moment. That is the technical course, where there's a lot of very sharp turns, a lot of technicalities. There's a lot of gates that you have to go through. Again, every single time you knock over a thing, you actually have to, you get added like 10 seconds or something along those lines. I can already feel that the car is sliding a little bit. Oh, okay, that's a hole over there. Good way to So this part over here is the one that I'm most afraid of, because this is a good place to... Okay, that's not too bad. Alright. Well, it's my turn. Time to set the slowest time. The slowest, most careful time. I'm still worried about that one hole over there. I have a feeling that there's a big chance that I might actually tear my tire on it. Okay, so I'm the first of the all-wheel drive, so I have to wait until these guys finish. Some of these guys have a do-over. Time to not die. Second time. This time I'm using the lower gear set. Was feeling that I didn't have the RPM needed for the slower part of the track. It's a stock car. I cannot put it in the first gear without being very, very slow. I cannot prepare for the thing. so small update. I'm last in both sides, which is to be expected. This is the first time I'm driving on something like this. The difference between the last place and the second to last and third to last and everything is literally a second apart. I know where I'm bleeding time, and it's this first side over here. I'm just bleeding time like crazy over here. So hopefully once I finish that, if I can fix this part, it'll be fine. Okay, third time's the charm. better. I hope my car is still okay. Those were some very bad noises. Hey guys, so small update. The previous run that you saw just now, that was the best one. I started off with a 2-minute 05, then I got it down to 2 minutes. The third one, where I struck the barrier, that was a 1:58, although it was given like 5 minutes on top because I hit the barrier, so that doesn't count. That's basically written off. But the last one was a 1:50, so I have basically cut off 15 seconds from my initial time. Still in last place, although my distance from the second to last place is literally 0.06 of a second, so I'm feeling positive. The car has sustained a little bit of damage in the previous run. In the last one, I was a little bit too harsh on it during the jump across. The spoiler is a little bit broken, but apart from that, it looks like, you know, XD. Just have to wait and see what happens. It has to survive for 2 more races, and then preferably the trip home. Alright, so small update. Things are picking up a little bit. It's starting to rain. Chances are I will not be able to do my 4th run as fast as I did in the previous time, simply because everything is so slippery, everything is going to be in mud. I really don't think I have the luxury of knocking off any more cones in the manner that I did. So I'm just kind of sitting here hoping for the best. Also moved a little bit closer to the track itself. Sadly, the PA system in the rain is very bad. I can't hear who is currently going, so I'm just gonna literally wait until I see all of the other 4-wheel drive racers to, you know, pass me, and then I'll, you know, join in. Okay, 5th out of 6. Let's see what happens. So I decided against the 6th drive because the state of the car is, I mean, it looks fine. And then you kind of go over here and it's like, I think that'll buff right out, probably. Alright, ladies and gentle boys, that concludes our little excursion into the world of racing. And needless to say, it's been kind of fun. For, you know, politeness reasons, I didn't film a lot of the stuff. The company was amazing. Like, the people see that you're the first timer, they immediately try to help you. Like, I rolled in with this damage, like, everyone's like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, do you want me to do this, do you want me to do that? And everyone was so supportive, holy hell. And, needless to say, I'm driving away. Of course, I'm kind of sad that I kind of, you know, damaged the car a little bit, but that was to be expected. I fully came to this place realizing that with my lack of experience, with my driving style, or rather the lack of driving style, damage was pretty much a given. It is raining like hell. I'm completely soaked. I'm going to probably return to the hotel faster than they can finish their celebration. Need to secure my tires though, before I forget. And yeah, then it's just going back to the hotel, taking a quick shower, drying off, changing clothes, obviously, and a 5-hour trip back to my house. So hopefully that I didn't damage anything that might cause issues. I checked the, you know, the lights work, blinkers work, far light works, so, you know, it's getting a little bit late here, but that should not be a problem. Now, hopefully, everything here can be fixed with just, you know, swapping the damage. As far as I saw, it's just the fender, it's just the rear, you know, brace that it mounts on, and I also cracked the windshield fluid reservoir, but it's cracked from the top, so it's not really that big of a deal. It works, so all I have to do now is hope that it will work for another 5 hours of road trip, and then everything's fine. Honestly, I had a blast. So I know what I did wrong, I know what to do better next time. I know what kind of tires I need, because I kind of mistook. I made a small mistake. I'll maybe elaborate it once I get home. But yeah, this was fun. For those of you who stuck with me, thanks for doing that. But yeah, now I just need to get home. That's not good. Probably.